Hi there, I'm Shawna Karrasch, and today I'm here to field one of the questions from Ask Shawna. Okay, today's question comes from Halley, and it says, I'm trying to get my 4-year-old horse used to trailering. She's at my house by herself, which I know isn't the best for herd animals, but our problem is that she just hates trailering. I make her have a snack in the trailer after every ride, and she will get in at our house fine, but when we go somewhere and I ride her and it's time to go home, she throws a fit, which includes very, very large rears, trying to bolt away and just acting not herself. I'm running out of ideas and would just really like to have a safe experience so no one gets hurt. Any input would be appreciated. Thanks. Okay, Halley. Trailering is a big issue. I mean, and there's a lot of components to trailering. It's not just getting in the trailer. Sometimes that's being in the trailer and driving, and sometimes it is backing out of the trailer, and sometimes it's getting to a new place in the trailer. So there's a lot of parts to trailering that can be an issue. So what I'm thinking with her is because she goes in well, you know, you've got her, it sounds like to me anyway, you've got her going in well, and it sounds like you can close up the trailer with no problem, and that she goes in on a regular basis. But it's after the trailer moves that she has a bigger issue. So what I find a lot of times when it's an issue at the place, a lot of times the drive itself can have something to do with it. So what I recommend doing is go painfully slow when you're driving, particularly when you're taking off and stopping. I mean, it's really, really tough, but just go so slow, and then the turns. So sometimes what I find is if you've ever done this, I've put people in the back of the trailer and have them, you know, experience what it's like to ride like you're driving a car, and then what it's like when you're should be driving correctly a horse trailer. And it's a huge difference. You know, it's all fun and games, and we have hands, and we're laughing as we're rolling around the back of the trailer, but for our horses, it can be really terrorizing. So I don't necessarily know that that's the problem, but a lot of times when they will get in fine, but then they won't go back in after they've traveled, a lot of times it does have to do with the motion. And sometimes they just don't like the motion, even if we're driving really, really, really slow. So so what I would recommend that you do is make sure that she knows the bridge conditioning and target training. So you have a way that you can tell her yes with the clicker, tells her yes, what you've just done is correct. And she, then the target you can use I teach them to touch their nose to the target, and it gives her a focus point. So you can get her back in the trailer. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I kind of wanted to readdress the driving thing. So one of the things I like to do is when I'm first teaching a horse to trailer load, and you know they're getting in and out and that part's all fine, and it's time for the first drive, I'll have somebody drive the trailer like 15 feet, and I'll stand in the back. They just move the trailer basically, and I click and reinforce, letting them know that that driving process is safe and it's good. You help build up their confidence during that driving process. So if you're in the back with them and you're just moving a little bit, and you might even have just your cell phone where you can just go drive a little bit more, stop, go. What I try and do is when they first drive, if the head comes up, I wait till they kind of relax just a little bit, and then I click and reinforce and say that, because the click tells them what you're doing right now is what I want to see more of. So then pretty quick they start learning, oh, I get the reinforcement when I settle, settle, settle. And pretty soon the driving isn't a big deal. The motion isn't a big deal for them. It's something that they learn that it's safe and not so fearful of. So by building up, think of it like scales that are out of balance, by building up the reinforcement history on the side of the moving in the trailer, the more reinforcement you can get to them, the stronger it gets, and the more that they like it and don't feel so apprehensive about it. So that's one tactic you can use. The others I mentioned, I'm getting back to, is utilizing the target. By teaching them, I'm assuming you kind of know what on-target training is. If not, go to the website. It'll tell you much more about these elements. But teaching them to touch their nose to a target. It's a really simple process, but it's a way that you can encourage her to get, you know, if they learn to touch their nose to it, you're teaching what in textbook terms is called the differential reinforcement of an incompatible behavior. Yeah, that's a mouthful. In a nutshell, what you're teaching her to do is to make it more reinforcing to do the correct thing than to balk. And so by putting something that she values, utilizing food, it's not something we perceive as a value, like a pat on the neck, but something that she values, she's going to be seeking, going, I want that. How can I get that? What do I need to do in order to earn that reward? And so by utilizing the target, you've taught her to touch her nose to it, start in her stall where it's no big deal, just going in the trailer, we're doing it at home. And as she's going in and coming out, you can, bridge and reinforce each time she touches it. That way the loading becomes more of an incidental. But another purpose that it serves is I use it all the time for rearing, aggressive, biting, lunging horses. By having them touch their nose to a target, she can't rear and keep her nose on the target. So again, you're making it more reinforcing to touch the target than it is to rear, and she makes choices to go forward following the target as opposed to going up in the air. So I think as you put those pieces into effect, you're going to have a horse who, instead of looking for a way out or looking to cause a commotion and bolting, you're going to, one, build up a better reinforcement history with driving in the truck, driving in the trailer, riding in the trailer really, and then you're also going to build up, get a way that you can actually help set her up to succeed, to get her to want to go in the trailer, make it clear what you're asking her to do and giving her the choice. So I think when you put those pieces into play, you're going to have a horse who loads very readily, and it's broke it down to a way that they can understand and feel comfortable with it. Anyway, so I'm Shawna Karrasch, and that was one of our Ask Shawna questions. If you have, and I hope this has helped you, Haley, if you have questions that you would like to have answered, feel free to go to AskShawna.com. You can go ahead and sign up, and you can post questions, and I just may answer them here in this kind of forum on the blog. Or you can, we'll also let you know when we have questions posted. We'll let you know when videos are posted. We'll let you know what's up, new, and happening. And also when I'm doing webinars or teleseminars, which is a great way for us to interact one-on-one. It's kind of like this, but we'll be on the computer, and we can actually talk about things, and I can get feedback of what your particular situation might be. But anyway, so I'm Shawna Karrasch. That's Ask Shawna. And so remember, enjoy getting your horse on target. Until next time, bye-bye.